Hello everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Jason Sutton, aka The Guru, and on this episode I've got a special guest from China, so we're going international today. My friend Peter Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G, is the assistant coach for the Chinese national junior team and is a top coach over in China, lives in Shanghai, and you can reach Peter on the Twitter at PeterGYZhang1, and on Instagram now, we just got him on Instagram tonight at PeterGYZGolf. So reach out to him after this interview and say thank you for being a great guest on the show. A little sort of pre-story about Peter. Peter reached out to me a couple of months ago, sent me a couple of emails, and we've been conversing back and forth via the internet, and said he's planning a trip to the U.S. and has a young player that's playing in the U.S. Women's Open and wanted to know if he could come up to Charlotte and shadow me for a few days or a week. And I said, absolutely. So, it's always an honor for coaches to come watch me teach and to hang out because, one, I'm so fortunate that he wants to learn something from me, but two, I get to meet other players and other teachers that I can learn from as well. And this gentleman is such a fascinating guy, and we've just become fast friends this entire week that we've spent together. So I'm really excited to share his story. We got deep into it last night in dinner, and I think it's just you're going to really, really be blown away by his persistence and his willingness to learn and gather knowledge, and then really just follow his passion for being the best teacher and the best coach he can be. We discussed several topics, including his learning English and basically teaching himself the language, which is pretty incredible. Imagine, trying to go to a different country and learning the language just to open up some doors for whatever your occupation is, and, just fitting into the culture and traveling by yourself, which I think is really, really cool. So he's got a really fun trip planned here. After he leaves me, he's going to go to several different cities and then do some coaching out west. So I hope you enjoy this conversation, and I will hook up some of the information that he throws out in the show notes. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at thegolfgurushow@gmail.com. And let's get to my conversation with Peter Zhang. Enjoy. All right, Peter, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I'm so excited that you're here, and we're going to dive into your story here. So give the listeners your full name.
Thank you, Jason. My full name would be Guangyue Zhang. Actually, in Chinese would be upside. Zhang Guangyue.
Oh, okay.
I got my English name is Peter. I've been using for a long time. And thanks for inviting me here. And I just had a great dinner with your family members. Tiffany is a great cook.
Yes, she is.
Yes. And you got a great son, Nick. Yeah. I've been hanging around with him a couple of days.
Yes.
He's going to be a great golfer, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
So let's talk a little bit about let's give the listeners some context of how you got to America and how you came to see me, and then we'll sort of take them back in your career because it's so fascinating. We had a great conversation last night at dinner, and I think it could help a lot of coaches out there to sort of know how you came to be. So how did you find me, and then how did you get to Carmel?
Okay, I think the story comes from the On the Mark podcast. I've been listening to that, and I listened to a podcast Robbie Fields did. So he mentioned his mentor is Jason Sutton. I like those stuff he was talking about the low point control. I said I need to get in contact with Jason Sutton, the golf guru, and finally came over here. I think before that, I sent you a couple of emails and
Yes, you
about
did.
this. I said I'm coming over to America, trying to planning a trip, and it turns out very, very good. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, I
So-
appreciate you're so kind to me, and thank you.
It's my pleasure. So you came over. You had a young lady that you're coaching
Yeah,
from the national team that we'll kind of get into
yeah.
that played in the U.S. Women's Open, correct?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, she's just turned pro. She's 17 years old, and she qualified from China one section, and she won the section qualifier, and she got a chance to play U.S. Women's Open. So yeah, I got a chance to travel with her
Mm-hmm.
from all the way to China to the tournament, Alabama, Birmingham. The tournament, I see a lot of great stuff. That was my first time to the majors. It was fantastic.
Right.
So I see so many good players. I think also for her, it was a great experience. Even she didn't make a cut. She could have been done better. So she's young.
What is her name?
Her name is Yi Liu.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had a team. Her father and mother, we traveled all the way together to Birmingham, Alabama, to that tournament.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you said, I want to come visit and come watch me teach, do some observing.
Yes.
And then the bonus was that we were having Scott Fawcett in the
Yes,
decade
yes.
seminar as well. So it kind of was a little bit of a icing on the cake.
Yes.
That you've had quite a week, right? So tell us a little bit about what you've learned this week.
It's about a decade, right?
Yes.
I've been trying to contact with Scott for a couple months, and I've been trying to learn that system on course management, and I get myself very interested in that. I think during, the coaching career, when I was in national team, I think I could have something, on the course management can back me up better, can help the players better. So this time, I think that the decade system it helps you how to choose the target based on the mathematical stats, right?
Right.
So you pick a better target, and you avoid the big mistake, and also still have decent birdie chance, and definitely you avoid big mistake from there. Also, a lot of elements I like is you learn how to manage your expectation.
Right.
You see on the Twitters we have a little chart book, so you see those numbers, right?
Yes.
Those numbers tells you how PG Tours actually get a score from a certain distance, and those kind of stuff tells you, okay, those players play every day, practice every day. I think it's I think the world class players. They even score like 100. 2.8 from 100 yards average, right?
Yeah.
That means
From the fairway.
only 20% the player make birdie from there.
Right.
So if you're trying to make birdie and trying too hard, you probably put yourself in a difficult position, right?
Yes, for sure. We got to try it a little bit yesterday, right, with
Yeah.
Nicholas?
Yeah. So we get on a golf course, learn how to use the system and choose a target, and play away from the big miss, and manage the motions through the round.
Yes.
Oh, that's a very good. That's very good experience, and League definitely helps a lot. Yeah, he's probably there.
Yes.
I think that will happen in the tournament coming, right?
Yeah, next week we're going to put it in play for real.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll help us shoot some lower scores.
Yeah, I think that kid, what Scott said, there are a lot of good stuff, wisdom in it. Like, one thing I like is it's far more easier to make to make doubles than trying to make birdies.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a really good philosophy.
Yes.
Let the birdies come to you.
Yes. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. So talk a little bit about before we kind of go back through your career. So some of the things that you've learned this week.
Yeah.
Me and you are collaborating a little bit.
Yeah.
You've watched me teach a little bit. So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that surprised you, or what are some of the things that you've learned and might implement in your teaching?
I think you're doing a great job. Yeah, I'm observing that. I like it very much. And I think that day on the putting green with the two player,
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to find the geometric center of the putts, and to shift it a little bit towards, shift a little bit for the player,
Yes.
and to make the geometric center more tight. That's going to help you to make more putts, make the window or the dispersion tighter. I like that part. It's very good. So I should do that more often with my players.
Is that that's a different putting lesson you probably would have expected, right? We didn't work on any
Yeah,
stroke.
that's the first time I've seen people coaches doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think here you got a great facility. You can work on lots of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. So let's talk a little bit about your story, because I think it was really fascinating, and it shows how much passion you have to learn new things, and
Mm-hmm.
also to get where you are today. I think is really admirable for all the hard work that you've gone through to get over here to America,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the things that you shared with me last night was really incredible.
Okay.
So let's start from the beginning of before you got into golf, and then how you got into the golf business,
Okay.
and then we'll kind of dive into some of the different subjects that we talked about earlier.
Okay, you want me to talk a little bit about the English story?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you first of all, you taught yourself English, which I think was just fascinating. I couldn't imagine myself going to your country, teaching myself Chinese, and
Okay.
going and being able to communicate as well as you have. So tell us a little bit about that, because I
Okay.
think that was a
I'd love to.
huge door opener for you.
I think I benefit from learning speak English, and it just opens the whole world to me. And I remember when I started learning English, that's back to 2000, even a lot earlier than that. I think I at that time I didn't think English is going to help me a lot, but I just like English. I love English songs. I was trying to figure out what does the mean. Music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the first song is Right Here Waiting For. That's a song from the big movie Right Here Waiting For You.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know that song. Okay.
Yes.
So actually, I put in a lot of work on it. So I remember I was starting a tapes, just to listen to tapes, a simple book. And I was there, like every day after my work, I was listening to the tape. Even sometimes I don't understand.
Right.
I was trying to put it beside my ear until I fall asleep. Yeah, and in the early morning when I get up, I just turn on the tapes again and listening until I get out for work. So I've been doing that, I think, at least half a year. So listening. So if I don't understand, I come back to the book, trying to understand it better. So after that, I figure out. One day I was facing with the foreigners. They talked to me. I don't even think I understand it. That was surprising me. So really, I think. Oh.
I was wondering, like, when you got to actually try it out.
Yeah.
Some people came to visit.
Yeah.
From America, and then you got to actually talk to them, and you could understand them.
Yes, I was surprised. So I was thinking, oh, why is it happen? I don't need to think. That's the English. But I don't understand that. This maybe because I create an environment. I've been listening a lot.
Right.
So that got me that environment. It just becomes instinct, right?
Right. Instinct.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So I think that's a good experience for people for learning new languages.
Yes.
Yeah. So after that, I figure out, oh, this is gonna work. So I keep putting a lot of work on that. and got a chance to go to English school, talk to people, trying to practice your speaking.
Right.
Yeah. So every time I improve a little bit, it seems like give me a chance to get a better job.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely I benefit tons of from English.
So tell us a little bit about that. When you started getting interested in golf a little bit late, right? So when did you start playing, and then how did you kind of break into the golf business, and how did your English help you with that?
Yeah, it's actually I went to the biggest golf course in China, the golf club in China called Mission Hills.
Mission Hills, yes.
Yeah. I went there for interview because my English is impressed the general manager. I got a job there. So I got a chance to play golf. So I was there as assistant manager running the clubhouse, but I got a chance to learn how to play at the range. I remember there is a David Ledbetter Golf Academy there.
David Ledbetter, yes.
Yeah, there is a coach called Joseph Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
So he's from England. He's so good. And I said, I think it's a good chance for me to learn. So I got a chance to work with him and translate with him and start learning how to play golf. Yeah, that's how I started playing golf and started learning golf. That was 2000, right? That's almost 20 years ago.
Almost, yeah.
Yes. So after that, actually, I stopped a little bit about coaching. I went out for business. I think I could have good relationship. Yeah. So I start business.
That's your golf store?
Yeah, golf store. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. A couple of years later, it was good business. I make some money for my family to support that. So I think it's time to go back to the thing I love. It's about golf. Yeah. So I got a lot of chance to work with a pro as a translator. That's about that's back to Guangdong City.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where you want to speak Cantonese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I got a chance to learn from him. His name is Sean Kennedy.
Sean Kennedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Canadian pro.
Yes.
So I learned a lot from him as well. So stuff from there, I think.
Sean Foley as well, right?
Sean Kennedy?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't Sean Foley.
No,
Oh, okay. You said Sean Foley earlier.
Sean Kennedy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's still in Shenzhen, and we met a couple of times. I think last year or the year before, right?
Okay.
So he's a great guy. He's a big guy. He's a long way. Yeah. So it was fun. So after that, when I think I started getting certification from CGA, Chinese Golf Association, I start coaching, and teaching people, start improving my knowledge, and step by step. So
where did you get your information when you first started coaching? Like as a new coach, what did you search?
I think that comes from, one is from Sean Kennedy. So I was his translator there at that time. So definitely learn from him how to coach. Yeah, that's one thing. Another thing is the training from CGA, Chinese Golf Association. They do the training for instructor certified. You go there for training. They have teachers teach you how to teach the basic knowledges. Yeah, something like that. So I start teaching beginners and trying to learn from the experience, trying to improve my skill, knowledge. Yeah. So yeah, I think still go back to English. Yes. Because I know I understand English, and I got a lot of chance to learn from the videos from YouTube. So
really?
I just search on YouTube those things, information I want to learn. I find those information, so keep learning, keep listening, watching these videos. So I learn a lot. Yeah, that's the way I learn. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. You're auditory. Auditory learner, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I got some good teachers. Well, I think I want to say one pro. He's also one mentor of mine. In 2014, I got a job to to go to Shanghai to work with a pro called Michael Dickey. He's from Scotland.
Okay.
He used to teach national team as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking for jobs in Shanghai, but I got a chance to call him. I met him one time at Starbucks Coffee. I still remember that place because we've been there a couple of times. Okay, so I talked to him a little bit, and he called me back. Peter, are you interested to work in my golf academy? Okay, yes, I'm looking for a job. I'm very interested.
Yes.
And, Michael setting the golf academy is very good. Got lots of high technology TrackMan,
Right.
KVS, Sandpot, a lot of good stuff.
That's where you worked with my friend Andy Griffiths, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Andy was there before I went there.
Mm-hmm.
So got a lot of stuff, high technologies, and I gained a lot of knowledges from Michael Dickey. So yeah, he's kind of mentor.
Very good.
Yeah.
So now then you broke out from that academy, right? And then when did you start working with the national team?
That's 2017.
Okay.
I started from the first day of the first year. I mean, January 1st.
Okay.
So I got a chance to go to work with the national team. I still remember the interview. I went to the CGA. It was on Christmas Day.
Really?
Yeah, it was Christmas Day. Yeah. So I went there to Beijing, and finally I got the job. That was great experience, I think. And I think I learned a lot from that experience as well. I have to mention one book.
Sure.
Yeah, that book is Every Shot Counts. That book was recommended by Zhang when he came over to China, doing a seminar.
Yes.
And he recommended the book to me, which is written by Mike Brody.
Mike Brody, yes.
And he introduced a new way to analyze golfer called stroke gain. So I started reading the book, and that book is really good. And the stroke gain stats, I started using the golf metrics to trying to help the golfer to collect stats, to analyze it, and trying to find which part is the weakness, and work out a plan to improve the weakness part. So I think that's a good way to approach a good golfer. You have the stats to back up,
right?
To tell the players, oh, hey, take a look. Your stats tells you this part you need to walk more, put more walkers on it to improve. Your performance. Yeah.
So that was kind of your job, right? For the national team, you were kind of gathering the stats, and then helping. Did you help them set up the practice plans for the girls, or?
Yes,
tell us a little bit about that.
I think we do this way. We got the stats, we analyze the stats, we find the weakness part, and then if we win, I think most of the Chinese girls, they need to work more on the short irons. They're driving pretty good and not short and pretty decent. But once you get into like 100 yards, they needs to be very good.
Right.
Yeah, I've been doing some research about the JLPG tour player. She is also Chinese, but she's playing JLP tour, and she's playing pretty good. And I got one chance she play in China. I just walk by and watch how does she play. The one thing she impressed me is she is really good inside 100 yards. She just hit it very close on the par 5, the third shot.
Right.
It's not long, but once he got a chance inside 100 yards, he started attack the pin, making birdies. I think that's why he's making a living at JLPG Tour and also surviving there.
Right.
I think our players needs to get better on that.
So how do you do that? Do you have some drills? Do you have like some exercises that they do regularly to try to improve that?
I think first you need to learn what's the best way to hit the shot, right? So there are different ways to do that, but I do think there are certain more efficient way to do that. So yeah, like you did today with the lesson, the controller shot.
Right.
So I think that's the best way, most efficient way to do that. You see a lot of players doing that, like Tommy Fleetwood, and Aria do a lot of them like a punch shots, controller shot,
Flighted wedges.
flight wedges.
Yes.
The trajectory low but
Yes.
spinny.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a simple swing and players can trust. Yeah, yeah, that's what I think. First, you need to learn how to control the distance. I think there is one thing I want to mention is the player needs to get a system about a wedge system. The wedge system, what I mean is you got players normally have 4 wedges.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 wedges. If you do, typically players have 3 swings, like to your rib cage, to your shoulder, and full swing.
Yeah.
But with 4 wedges, that gives you like a 12 distance.
12 distances.
Yeah, with different ball flight.
Right.
So when you're fishing a certain distance on the golf course, you definitely have a chart to look on, and you can find the best way, or best swing, or best club to hit with.
Gotcha.
So sometimes you have a wind into your face, you can fly the shot a little bit down,
right,
by using a less lofty club. So that gives you a lot of choice to do that. So I think that system helps a lot. Yeah.
So that's what you guys teach the girls.
Yeah.
To try to get them to understand what shot needs to be.
Yeah.
Under certain situations and distances.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that system helps a lot. So you know the number, you can, when you choose the swing, you choose a turn number, you have something you can trust. You just do it.
Yes.
And you swing aggressively to it.
Right.
So yeah, you that day you mentioned to Leak hitting pitch shots, being aggressive on your body. I like it very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe that kind of shot. Your body is always turning, leading the motion, right?
Yes.
I like
exactly.
that very much.
Yep. It's good. So you saw my sort of teaching framework, my mastermind skills.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what are some of your mastermind skills that you go to when you teach?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to learn a lot from those things. I don't think I'm completely get it. I'm going to start it seriously. Yeah, it's going to take some time. I'm going to ask a lot of questions.
Sure, you already have. You have.
But now I think I can't say something about that. I think I need to study more on that.
Okay.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, with your personal teaching right now, when you're giving a lesson, what are some of the things you think are important?
I think if you work with players, you're looking for certain pattern matches the player. So I definitely will look into the club face first.
Mm-hmm.
So if the club face is good, if the club face is not good, it's definitely some players reacting to it. And a certain pattern, you want the transition to be shallower. The transition on the way down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking for impact positions and hips to open up and the hands forward. And through impact, you don't want to be flipping your hands a lot. You want the club is more consistent.
Right.
That's how the best players do. And if you want to be consistent, that's the best way you do it.
Yeah, I've seen we were looking through some of your videos from your players, and you've got some really good players.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, you got some Metro Tour players. You got some, obviously now professionals, and you're good elite juniors. So you're whatever you're doing is working because they got beautiful golf swings.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Yeah, so looking forward to it the year to come. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to get into some of these rapid fire questions? You want to give them a shot?
Oh, what's that?
The ones that I asked most
Yeah.
of the guests on here.
Yes, I'm
So
not sure
we've-
if they're ready for that.
All right, we'll see what happens here. So
Okay.
we got, you've mentioned one mentor, Michael,
Yeah.
definitely a mentor. Was there any other big influences for you in your career, mentor wise,
Uh,
that you want to mention?
yes, I think I haven't met them, but I've been studying the books, all the videos from them. Like one,
From who now?
sorry,
Which one? Who did you mention?
Jim McLean.
Jim McLean.
Jim
Okay.
McLean. I've been studying his book, his 8-step swing.
Okay.
So, I even bought his videos from America. Yeah, he's been working with Martin Chark, the Revolution Golf, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just looking into those videos informations. I even bought the 8-step swing. So Jim McLean, yeah, I think I learned a lot from him.
Okay.
Yeah. And who else? Let me think about it.
We can come back to it.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
That's good.
All right. So if you were given advice, because this is always a big one for the podcast, you were giving advice to a young coach.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna be a mentor to young coaches in China, I'm
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
That are gonna look up to you and say, hey, how did you get to where you are? What sort of ideas would you give them to get into the teaching business and to improve?
I would say the first thing you need to learn English.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, because that opens the whole world to you. You can rely on somebody who is willing to teach you. That's a good thing. But you got to start pushing yourself to learn more stuff by yourself. Yeah, you're willing to learn because the English is a good way to approach information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the first thing. And the second thing I would say, I agree with you, is you need to teach a lot more than you want to teach more. Yeah, to get that experience to improve skill.
Right.
And developing, the communication with people. And yeah, that's the way you improve yourself. Get yourself teach a lot.
Anything else?
Anything else? Yeah, find someone can really help you. That's the thing. Yeah, that's why I came here.
You're right.
I want to improve that knowledge, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, definitely. You find something you can count on, and you think he's pretty good, and go there and ask questions, and watch him how to teach, try to learn something from that.
Right.
Yeah, I think that the 3 things can work a lot better. Can help you a lot.
Very good. All right. So when you feel overwhelmed or maybe a little unfocused, what do you do? And what do you tell yourself when you feel stressed out, let's say?
Stress out.
Yes. Any habits that you lean on?
Okay. I will go walk out. Just go walk out. Walk out.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you walk out, your body is fresh up and your mind's fresh up. That's one thing.
Yes.
Another thing I would do is reading.
Reading. Okay.
Yeah. There are a lot of good books there. When you read, you definitely listen more to yourself. You got wisdom from the book. It becomes calm. I think reading is a good way to do it.
Get to just kind of get away.
Yeah,
Let your mind wander a little bit.
Yeah, you need to get away to concentrate on the book. Otherwise, you're not reading book, right?
So that's a good lead into what are some of your favorite books? I mean, you mentioned Every Shot Counts. Doesn't even have to be golf. Do you have any other books that you maybe what book have you given to your friends the most?
I would say just doesn't come up right away. Okay.
It's okay.
I think, actually, I've been reading a book, The Golf Mind from Dr. Bob Rotana.
Yes.
But I would recommend this book to most of golfers. Yeah, I recommend that book to my player who plays the Symmetry Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks she's got a little bit of help. She needs a little bit of help on the mental side. So I said, why not just go buy a book and read it? You definitely learn from that. That's a good book. I would recommend.
It is a good book.
Yeah. There are lots of good golf books I want to read. So I need your advice too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We were going through my library a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'll give you some good recommendations.
Cool.
As we finish the week out. All right, so let's any other topics that you want to talk about? I'm gonna get to a couple more rapid fire questions. Anything you can think about that you want to share?
Yeah.
And we can talk about anything. Anything that surprised you about America?
Oh, I would say American people is way more friendly than you expect.
Okay.
Yeah, when you go there and people is very nice to you. I think I get really used to this, to talk to people more. I don't actually talk that much like here, like
Really?
I does
That's
here.
surprising.
Yeah, because people are so nice to you. It's good to meet different people and to talk and trying to understand the American culture, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's good. That's the thing I experienced so far. Yeah, I like it.
What about the food?
The food?
I've introduced you to sweet tea and
The Arnold Palmer tea.
Yeah.
Arnold Palmer tea, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. Yeah, that story make the tea so good. Definitely.
And you had your first blue moon last night.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you recommend that. That's quite good. Yeah. So I would recommend Arnold Palmer tea, sweet tea. Yes. Yeah, use the sweet one. And a Blue Moon orangey light beer.
Yeah, that was
okay,
good.
I remember that. Thanks.
Very good. You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I know the answer to this. Let's say, aside from learning English, what's the last time you learned a new skill?
New skill?
Yeah.
I would say, what kind of skill is that?
Anything you want. I mean, did you play a musical instrument? Did you learn?
I wish I got a chance to learn that. I really
I think learning English by yourself is probably enough, but I thought maybe you had something else for us.
I think that comes back to reading. Okay. So how to see that is
reading English.
Yeah,
I've
been reading a book called The Lessons from Harvard. Okay. So one very successful on kids.
Yes, I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yes,
Lessons from Harvard.
That they wrote some books about how you educate kids, develop kids. I think that's a good book. I learned and from there, and I can get some ideas how to transfer positive things to my boy.
Right.
Is that skill? Do you count that?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to be better father. So that's kind of a lot of skill as well.
Absolutely. So parenting is a big time skill.
I want to be
with no handbook.
Yes. I need some guidance. So definitely, to be a good father, you need some education. Yeah, not just think what you need to do.
100%.
Yeah, definitely need some help.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So in the last 5 years, what habit or behavior has improved your life the most?
The behavior?
Yeah.
Improve me the best. Oh, okay. This got me. Okay.
Need more wine.
Actually, workout.
Working out? Okay.
Working
fitness.
out. Yeah, fitness. I used to have pain on my hips and lower back. That stopped me playing more golf.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't feel well after you play. So I figure out when I in a team, I see players work out, I do it at the same time. Good. How much they work out, I do exactly the same with them. So I start feeling my body is better. I don't feel the pain, and also I benefit that into my golf.
Right.
I pick up more speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You saw Nicholas working out yesterday and me working out yesterday at lunch.
With
right?
Aaron, right?
Aaron Kaufman, yes.
Yeah, he's good. Fitness trainer.
Yes.
The TPS stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very good. It's good to see him working with Leak. I see you. So many young men have so many talent. It's gonna be big in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, so one last question.
Yeah.
All right, this is one I always finish with: is if you could get one message to the world.
Yeah.
On, you know what a billboard is?
Billboard. Yeah.
Like a sign.
Yeah.
Okay. What message would that be and why?
Okay, you want to put the things on the billboard, right?
Mm-hmm.
On a whiteboard.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the billions and billions of people, the whole world would see it. Like,
okay.
What do you want to tell them?
I feel lucky I can teach golf. I think find something you love to do. I think that's how you differ from other human being. So you gotta love what you do. Otherwise, you're not going to put 100% in it. So I think, yeah, I feel lucky. I loved golf, and I'm doing what I love. So that's one thing I want my boys to do.
Yes.
In the future, I want him to really love something and doing that. So I think that's how you become a unique person.
Yeah, 100%. That's such a great way to close.
Yeah, thank you.
You are such an interesting person, and I like I told you at dinner last night, I'm honored that you would come find me to think I had something to teach you.
You're definitely capable of doing that.
And it's
yeah.
So I've met a new friend, and hopefully we'll work together again. And I want to come to China and
You're welcome.
work with you and do some workshops. And
yeah, definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I know you've got a great trip planned here in America. You're getting ready to go to New York.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to try to hook you up with some coaches up there, and then you're going to Orlando.
Yeah.
And then you're going to LA to work with the kids, right?
Yes. I'm looking forward to the journey.
Yeah, you've got. I just really appreciate your passion and your your knowledge and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming. So I'm glad you're having such a good time.
Thank you.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. So let the listeners know how they can reach out and say thank you on Twitter. Give them your Twitter handle.
Twitter? Oh, okay. My Twitter would be...
And I'll hook it up in the show notes as well so everybody will know.
Oh, okay. My Twitter is Peter Zhang. Let me check it out.
Yeah,
I don't remember my ID. So okay.
Wasn't it GY or something?
I just started using that. So...
We got to get him some followers. I tweeted out the other day that you got to follow this guy.
Is Peter GY ZHANGY. One. Sorry.
One.
One.
Okay,
yeah,
that
number
again.
one. Yeah, PETERGY number 1.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so follow this guy. He's super smart, and he's a great guy. He's a great golf coach.
Thank you.
And you're gonna be hearing from him a lot in the future.
Thank you.
So,
thank you very much.
Thanks
so much for having me on.
You're very welcome.